everybody to another webinar event brought to you by Workplace AI, where we showcase our subject matter experts and discuss their amazing solutions and insights. Today, we have the founder and CEO of Fuel, Alex Kutsishin. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us today. So today
Yeah.
we wanted to talk about the amazing product and solution that you have developed, which is basically, how would you describe it? The Netflix of learning channels. Is that how you would
Yeah.
describe it?
Yeah, it's the Netflix of positivity and personal development and the Peloton of performance improvement, right? Combine them together, right? It's about a community of professional instructors who have a heart to give. That's the number one criteria to be on Fuel. Meaning, what does that mean? So if you're listening to this, like, what does that mean, heart to give? A heart to give means if I ask somebody like Thomas, who has got a heart to give, if I ask Thomas for some advice, Thomas wouldn't be like, well, schedule an appointment with me, the billable hours are this, and I'll answer that question for you. No, if I ask Thomas a question, he's probably eager to give me the answer because he doesn't want to go to sleep going, I had the answer for Alex, but I didn't give it to him. No, that would keep him up at night. And so number one thing is a giver's heart. Number two, proven content that has been replicated by many other people. And that is what we put on Fuel. And all of it, Thomas, is done in a micro learning environment. We say micro dose on positivity and personal development.
Well, let me ask you this, Alex, before we get into all the
Yeah.
great things that it does and how it does it and the benefits thereof. Let's talk a little bit about Alex. How did Alex started in this, and how did you
Oh,
come about this amazing idea with
all
respect to
right.
and what it does and how it does it?
Well, for that, we're going to rewind the clock then. Let's go all the way back to my birthplace. I was born in Kiev, Ukraine. And my parents, during in 1989, when the Soviet Union was falling apart, took their chance to leave. And my father had a friend in the United States. He reached out to him. You have to have someone volunteer to take you in if you're going to leave this country. And they left, and it was a 2 month journey that was not exactly a direct connection from Kiev to Maryland. No, it was train ride, a couple days waiting for a train to come that never came, then a train ride to Czechoslovakia, then a train ride to Austria, then there a month selling your stuff to survive, then to Italy selling your stuff to survive. Boom, we land in Maryland. And I share that story because that was I don't know, say freedom, but the example I needed to get into this entrepreneurial world. Because what is entrepreneurialism? It's risk taking. It is confident in the risk that you're going to take, realizing that this risk may be the best thing you can do for your life. I saw that happen. My parents took a huge risk. And then they took another huge risk when they started their first businesses in the United States, 2 years and barely speaking English. And it just made it okay for me to take risks. And so I took my first risk at age 20, started my first business at age 20, and 22 years now of building businesses. And this is company number 10. But the reason this company came to be is in 2011, in 2017, 11 was the mobile software company. In 2017, we launched a borrower intelligence platform into the financial industry. Never been in a financial industry before. And within 4 years, we're the fastest growing mortgage tech firm in the history of mortgage technology. And that success got my phone to ring from someone that was in the space with me. It's my co-founder, Todd Duncan. He's an educator. Okay. And so here I am 4 years into a financial platform that now exists in every lending institution in the United States. A piece of it exists in every lending institution in the United States. And I get a phone call from Todd, and he goes, hey, a mutual friend of ours said, if I have a technology I want to bring to market, I got to call you. I said, hey, I got to buy lunch for this mutual friend of ours. Talk to me, because what's crazy is he called me and introduced himself, and I'm like, I've sat in your audience, Todd. I've seen you speak, so I'm curious what you have in mind. on your mind. And so he shared with me this idea, and here's what he started with. So he said to me, the very first line that came out of his mouth once I said, "What's on your mind?" He goes, "Education is broken." I was like, man, if I could lean in any further, you would feel my breath on you right through this phone, because that talk to me. What do you mean? And someone that's been educating for 30 years, Todd, has been doing that. Over nearly 7 million students through his courses on leadership, sales, personal development, mindset, time management, all of this. And he says education is broken. What? How could an educator say that? And I learned a long time ago, Thomas, when you talk to an expert of a field and they tell you their field is broken, they know better than anyone else. They know better than any analyst that's looking at an industry and going, here's what the potential is. Now, this person knows. They don't just have their ear to the ground of their industry. They got their feet on the ground of the industry. They got their hands in it. And he's telling me it's broken. And he says, we need to solve it. And I'm said, I'm in. Let's do it. And so Fuel is a passion project because Todd's been thinking about it for several years before we got together, and now it's become this project that we believe can influence and impact billions, not millions, but billions. Because what we're saying is this, Thomas. We're saying that education currently focuses on memory, focuses on you remembering what you learned, and the best models in the world of performance and culture, which is, if you're a company and you're on this call, that's what you're probably hoping for, is a great culture and a great team of performers to get the job done. Well, why do we have to reinvent it, Thomas? We don't have to reinvent it. The sporting industry, the professional sporting industry, and the military has proven to us that the thing that it takes to build consistently better performance over time is knowing how to do what you learned, not saying you understand what you learned. So it's applying what you've learned rather than saying you understand it. Nobody in the military, nobody in professional sports says, I understand. And people are like, that's good enough for us. Go ahead, you're in. You're a Navy SEAL now. You're the new starting quarterback. No, you have to do it to earn it. And that's Fuel. Fuel is a performance platform, a practice platform where everything you learn you apply instantly, which gives you a 700% more chance of retaining that thing that you applied, which that's all we want from people. We want people to be able to retain and apply what we've taught them, whatever that is. And right now it's broken, it's missing, and we're excited to be bringing
Is
it.
that why your courses are in shorter snippets as opposed to a 30-minute or an hour session?
Yeah, that's a great question. Micro learning, and here's the thing: I can stand here and tell you all the benefits. I always say this to people, Thomas. Don't just listen to the founder talking about it. Okay, do
Right.
your research and find the incredible benefits of micro learning, how the brain retains, how the brain applies it. So we didn't just do this because we're like, hey, let's shorten everything up. No, we did this because the science says the human mind is much better equipped today for micro content than long form content. Long form fatigue is a real thing. So the answer is yes, that's exactly why. If you think about how things are applied in professional sports or the military, they are taught and then instantly asked to practice.
Right.
It's not taught over a period of hours and then said practice. It's like, okay, watch this skill. Hey, quarterbacks, you're going to step back. You're going to throw like this. You need to turn your hips. Okay, great, I got it. If I did that for you for 2 hours, you would have lost everything I said for you earlier. So when I do that for you, then I give you the ball and I say, let me see you do it. And as a coach, as a leader, I'm watching you do it so I can help you get better, right?
Right.
Instead, right now, what's happening, Thomas, is I get people in a room, I talk to them for an hour, and then I say, go use what I gave you. But I have no clue if you can even do it. Yeah, I don't even know if you can do it. Since you heard me talk, you must understand and you can do it. That's not true. And so that is exactly why we make them short. We get people to execute and implement. And then it's a team building exercise as well as personal development. But that's exactly why. It's micro so you can apply it.
That's amazing. So what is the value of investing in
Yeah.
personal development and well-being as compared to professional skill building of the kinds that you were talking about?
Ah, yes. So I think one of the misconceptions in business maybe it's not just in business, but one of the misconceptions is for you to get better at this thing, I have to only focus on teaching you this thing. But, and this is really, really cool. We'll give you several examples. My co-founder, Todd, was the top salesperson in the mortgage industry before he started teaching the mortgage industry, right? He did over 6,000 loans himself in his team, right? But he ran the team and everyone was doing loans under his name. So it's himself, over 6,000 loans. And I asked him, I said, Todd, man, how many mortgage sales books did you devour? He said,
Right.
0. I said, well, how many mortgage communication tactics and tricks did you learn before you became so good? He said, 0. I said, wait a second, how did you become the best if you never took that particular skill? He said, well, I learned from the Zig Ziglars and the Brian Tracy's and the Tom. He started naming all these people that had talked 0 about mortgage. 0, not one thing. They talked about the foundation, the fundamentals of communication, trust, creating a vision, affirmations, self-mastery, time mastery. That is all personal development that you apply professionally. And that is the thing that is the biggest mistake people make in professional development is thinking, I have to teach you this skill so you can better apply it. No, there is no such thing. Here's ready? Takeaway number 1 for everyone that breaks the mold of what you may have been thinking. There is no such thing as professional development. None. All of it is personal development that you apply professionally. But Alex, I'm a doctor. I learned how to use a scalpel to cut through this. All you did was learn how to use a sharp object. You're going to apply it professionally. But that's you weren't taught that. You're applying your skills professionally, but you've learned personally, because when you leave being a doctor and somebody asks you, hey, we need someone to be able to cut a precision line here on this piece of steak or whatever, you'll be like, I got it. I've been doing it all my life. Right? So you've personally learned something. So why apply a mentality of investing in people's well-being and personal development that will have an impact professionally? Well, this is the best way I like to answer this. There's a few companies that have proven that investing in personal development and well-being is actually the best investment you can make in your team. And instead of forcing skills down people's throats, make them want to apply their skills in the place that they are. I'm going to get more on that in just a second. We talked about it a little bit the other day, where it's, are your people working or playing? I'm going to get back to that concept. Are they working or playing? But I want to show you something. Okay, this is and can you see this? Okay, do I need to zoom in a little more, or is this all right?
No, I can see this.
Okay, great. So this is just an example of how companies like Alphabet, renowned for its focus on employee wellness, offering robust mental health programs, on-site wellness facilities, career development resource, right? They're doing okay, I believe. You have Nadella. By the way, Nadella is probably one of the biggest advocates of people development, personal growth, and well-being. And it's, I think it's the number 1 market cap company in the world right now, maybe Nvidia at the moment, but they were right there. HubSpot, employee happiness. That's the first line, employee happiness. Not we have built the best skill development program, not we force our people to get to their goals. No, employee happiness, okay? Salesforce, well-being and equality, all of those things. Culture of freedom and responsibility, offering employees generous parental leave, personal development opportunities. Netflix, by the way, one of the most successful companies and one of the most incredible success stories ever, and we actually followed their model in building Fuel. Netflix said, stars in every position. And they've accomplished that. And everyone in the world has taken a piece of their philosophy and started to apply it in their businesses, because you can see Netflix is what, $500 billion company, and they have 1/10 of the employee size of a lot of these companies because they have stars in every position. They don't believe in the Pareto principle. They're not like, 20% will do 80%. Nope. It's a star, right? So why invest in people and their well-being and their personal development, because the ROI, the multiple you'll get on that is, well, it is measurable. I was going to say it's immeasurable because there's some intangible things that happen because of what they bring to others in the company, and how clients perceive your company when they see people feeling so good about themselves. Because I wrote it down. Are your people working or playing? I'll ask you, Thomas, and everybody on the call if they want to chime in, or however we want to get their participation. Does an athlete work or play? They're
The
called
best,
players,
they're playing.
right?
Absolutely.
They're
Yep.
playing, right? Soccer players, basketball players. They're all players. They're playing. They've chosen a sport that they can play and enjoy. How many people on your team are players and how many people are workers? You will quickly discover the stars because they're playing. You will quickly discover the people that are just there for a living are workers. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of inspiration and motivation in people that need a paycheck. But it's not the same as someone that's there for their own personal gain, for their own personal joy. It just so happens they're working for you and wearing your colors and flying your flag. But that is why I believe from this day, right? Should have been before, but from this day moving forward, if you're hearing this, focus on applying well-being, personal development, and personal care for your team, and watch how they personally grow or push back on you. And then you realize they're not in the right place. They'll be like, no, 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 I don't want to, no, 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 that's not for me. I'm good right here. See this box? I'm good right here. I don't want to move from here. And I want to tell everybody something. You heard me say that I've been doing this for 22 years. And if you talk to the people that have worked on my teams, they will tell you that one of the things I say to everyone is, you're going to grow here or you're going to go. You're going to grow or you're going to go. Because you can't be the same person on day one as you are on day 101. If you are, I failed you. Because as a leader, my only job is to develop your talent. That's the only thing I should be thinking about every single day. How do I get Thomas to be a better version of himself in here and discover his own possibilities? How do I help Serge? How do I help Todd? How do I help Mary and Sue and all of them become better versions of themselves? And how can I push them to their limits to realize this is it? They can't go any further. They've reached the maximum. And guess what? You can't stay here if you're already at your max, because we do expect you to keep growing. No one should stay still. And it's not because Alex thinks so. It's not because Nadala or Patty McCord from Netflix thinks this. It is literally, I need to eliminate that word, by the way. I'm no longer saying the word literally. It is nature. Because it's a weird word, right? I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Why do I need to say literally? Right? My wife pointed it out. She's like, stop saying it. I was like, that's a good call. Just like unbelievable. I no longer say the word unbelievable either. Because it's used in the wrong way every single time. Somebody does a double backflip. Unbelievable. No, you just saw them do it. So it's not unbelievable. Anyway, so it is nature. How many of you have ever seen a flower that's blossoming and at like 2 inches it goes, I'm good right here, everyone. 2 inches. Yeah, it feels good. Never. They grow until they die. Everything in nature, we are part of nature. The thing that happens here is companies actually lower bars for people. Nah, he's been here for a long time. Let's just lower the bar for them. I want you all to ask yourself, how many professional sports teams lower the bar? Name one. How many military institutions lower the bar? Go, yeah, we have better snipers. You're a little off, but that's okay. Come on, you can make it. Yes, the bomb didn't get defused properly, but that's fine. Get on the team. You're on there. Let's go.
Well,
Let's fly you out to
I
war
want to come
zone.
back to something that you said. I want to come back to something that you said earlier. And that brings me to, because I get asked a lot, why I call myself a fun coach, right? And
Yeah.
why I always refer to people having fun. And it follows the same line of thinking that you're addressing. And that is, we have natural skills, we have natural abilities, every one of us. And
Yes.
what you will find in every case that I've ever seen, is that we always have fun with those natural abilities that we have, whereas we don't have fun where those areas or natural abilities don't exist. So
Yes.
where we need to work, as you called it earlier, versus where
Yes.
we have fun are two very different things. And the trick to learning and the trick to growing and improving is to be having fun. So as
Yes.
with something like Clifton Strengths and some of the other leadership skill sets that are out there or measurement tools, when you find what you're naturally good at, you will also find that you have fun at it.
Mm,
And when you apply that to the kind of learning modules and systems you've created, wherein you've created the Netflix of learning as an interface, where people can pick the short snippets for micro learning right from a variety, a huge menu looking like Netflix, in order
yeah,
to
you'll see it right now.
facilitate quick learning and be effective. But what they're doing when they're doing that, just as they would when they're picking Netflix movies to watch, is they are having fun. People
Fun.
don't pick movies and entertainment that isn't fun, that they don't enjoy.
Yes. Yeah.
Funny thing about that, right?
Can you imagine? This movie got 2 thumbs down. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one for us this weekend. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're nailing it, and I think people are missing that, have been missing that. Not everyone.
Right.
You saw the companies that aren't missing it, and they're doing okay for themselves. They do understand
That's
that.
exactly right. But I want you to spend a little bit more time on one of the points that you made, and I think this is really important because it's a double-edged opportunity, and that is you're growing or you're going. And I think
Mm,
what we need to help people realize that if you're growing, that's easy. You're having fun, let's
yeah.
go. But the reverse with respect to you're going, that's not a negative. That's an
No.
opportunity for you to find out where you should be growing, right?
Yes.
And that may be within our environment by way of a different type of position or
That's
set
right.
of goals, whatever it is, or it may not be. But that's your opportunity, not your loss. And that's where
Yes.
people get confused, and that's where organizations get confused. And so one of the mechanisms within your system that I really love
Mm,
is the ability to measure the value
mm-hmm.
of people's productivity by way of their what they're doing and what they're learning against their
Yes.
job function so that you can see that somebody's having fun, they're growing versus that person that isn't and needs another look at where they can have more fun and continue
Yes.
growing. Can you elaborate a bit more on that for me?
Oh my gosh, thank you. I absolutely love to elaborate on this. Okay. So here is a new way to look at this going concept. So a very long time ago, we changed the word fire to free. We don't fire anyone, we free them,
Right.
right? Because they're trapped and you're trapped.
Yeah.
Okay? So first of all, just know that your action of freeing someone or letting them go find the thing they're going to be great at and be happy to be there. Because if they're failing in your company, you think they're going to sleep going, oh, I feel great about myself tonight. No, they're hating things. They're not happy there. They're fighting with their friends, spouses, children. They're aggravated. So here's how you can change your perspective. I promise you, and I know there's some people out there, but I'm not into sports, Alex. I'm not into Okay, but you understand sports, right? You understand the concept of competition, right? And so if you understand the concept of competition, think about this. Are you in a competition every day? Whoever's hearing this, are you in a competition? If you're in business, of course you are. You
Mhm.
don't call your people groups, you call them teams. Why do we call them teams? Because they're in a competition, okay? Every single day against another team. But we forget about that. We just think we're working. And so, if you remember you're in a competition, this decision is going to be easier. When a team, let's just talk about football because we're going into the Super Bowl here. When a team sees a player no longer being able to perform to the levels that they were able to perform to before, do you think that team is crying about losing that player? Or are they excited to replace them with someone that can do the job and support the rest of the team? Of course they're excited. Yes, they're going to lose someone that may have been on a team for years, but they're bringing in someone else that's going to make a much bigger impact on everyone around them. Everyone, not just themselves, everyone around them, because they're able to do the thing that you need them to do. And people on the bench on the team aren't sitting there like, oh my gosh, do not put that player in. He cannot make that shot. He cannot make the field goal. He cannot run it into the end zone. He cannot throw. You don't want your team going, oh no, 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 no. I can't believe this person is on our team still. That is terrible. That brings everything goes down. So when you start to think about someone that needs to go because they're not able to grow, think about what you're doing and saying to everyone else on the team when you let them stay. You're saying that person is more important than all of you. That's what you're saying. This person is more important than all of you. Yes, they're doing a bad job. Yes, they don't love it here, but I am too scared to let them go. I have too much of a commitment to them. I have too much attachment to them. I feel like a failure if I let them go. Just think about what would happen to a sports team if they thought about it that way, right?
Well, let me
It would
ask you then.
mean,
Let me ask you, Alex, with respect to what you're saying, because this is the natural
please.
question, how then, with the use of your system
Yeah.
and what you're doing and what you've created, can we make sure that we've got the right people on the bus?
Okay. So the this I'll show it like this. Okay. So first of all, the right people on the bus come from their activity, not from their previous activity. So that's important too, right? So somebody scored 50 touchdowns last year
How
and
they're
this year
contributing today.
today, correct. So that's number one.
Yeah.
You always want to look at that. Number two, how you're going to be able to use the system. Well, I'll just show you the screen, and I'll
Sure.
just kind of go over a couple things on here for a minute, and we'll just for just a moment. We won't go into a full lesson. We'll just stop here for a second. We'll use sports, and then we'll combine it with this. How do coaches build their teams in sports? They don't ask them what they need help with. They come to them with ideas of improvement. Think about that for a second. They don't come to a quarterback and go, "Hey, what can I help you with today?" No, they go, "I was watching film and I noticed why you couldn't throw the ball over 50 yards. You're not stepping in enough. So I got an exercise for you." Okay? That is how they build teams, talent developers. They're not asking questions, what do people do in business? What can I help you with? What can I help you with? We don't know. However, we use fuel to replicate the success of athletic sports teams and how they're able to constantly get people better. Because coaches can watch you play and give you feedback, you want to start doing the same thing. If I am in fuel, and this is a gym, right? A mental gym, a mindset gym, a heart gym, a soul gym. It's a gym for personal development and well-being. And if I choose time mastery tactics, and I watched, the entire course, okay, and maybe I watched the yes trap 3 times compared to everything else, you're now the leader. Thomas, you don't even know what I was going to say here. So Thomas, let's role play. You're my leader in this company. You just saw me watch the yes trap 3 times, which is I'm saying yes too much, right? Can't manage my time. Watching time mastery tactics and the yes trap I've watched 3 times. What am I telling you as a leader of mine? What did I just tell you about myself?
You've told me that you need some strategies to help you stop constantly saying yes so that you can feel good about that, but also help the other person understand that you can't simply say yes to everything.
Bingo. If you were to ask me, what can you help me with? I probably would have told you, hey, I need help closing this deal. I need help reaching that person. I would not have said to you because I'm not thinking about it then. My boss is asking me a question. He likely wants me to answer with a result I'm trying to achieve. But the truth is, your results that you're trying to achieve, you'll achieve them 10 times faster, easier, because you will have made yourself better at this, which is really what's on my mind, which is the fact that I don't have time to follow up with people, that I keep feeling trapped by my calendar. I keep saying yes too much. And here's my leader joining me and meeting me where I am. That is how you use fuel to go grow or go. Okay? If all of a sudden my numbers are slipping and I have this amazing gym and I've never logged into the gym and I ask you what you're doing to get better at this and I'm like, well, I'm calling all my customers, that is someone that might need to go. And you're like, wait, they said they're calling all their customers. No, 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 no. How is this person growing? Not how are they going to do more sales, not how are they going to program faster, not how are they going to make accounting more accurate. No, because they will reach a level of I've hit the ceiling that I've set for myself because I didn't choose to grow myself. I've Here's another way of looking at it. No professional athlete, we'll use Patrick Mahomes. No, Patrick Mahomes isn't standing in the pocket going, I wish I was an attorney. Never says that. Never comes out of his mouth because he chose the game he wants to play. So when your people are in the position they were hired for, how are they improving? Because they chose this. If they don't like it, they won't improve. You'll find that. That's exactly what you're talking about, Thomas. If they don't like it, they will not improve. They will stay where they are. And in fact, you'll start to see they're going to want to hide. They're not going to want to participate in things like this. They're not going to want to join ways to improve themselves. So, to answer the question, how do you use fuel as a tool to see who you need to grow and who might need to go, is you watch autonomously what they're giving themselves. What do they think is important to them? You meet them where they are and you help them grow from there. And if they're not willing to, you're seeing the number slipping, but they're not willing to invest in themselves, there's a pretty good chance they don't love what they do and it's time for them to go, right? And so the visual aspect of, are you investing in yourself? Remember this, everyone. No coach in professional sports forces them to work out. None. They don't care if you do. As a matter of fact, they hope you don't so they can get you off the team and put somebody on the team that is willing to put in the effort. No coach follows their player home, watches when they go to sleep, watches when they wake up, watches what they eat, watches what they're going to work out at the gym. That's on them. That's the autonomy. I'll give one example. I live next to an NFL coach, defensive coordinator, 12 years. I said, how important is autonomy for your team? He said, it's everything. Autonomy is everything. We can't force them to do anything. We need to see them wanting to do it, and then we help guide them to be great. They're already amazing athletes. And we're just there, filling in the gaps a little bit, but we cannot force them to want to be great. They have to want to be great on their own. And that is the problem in business. Leaders want everyone on their team to be great when not everyone can.
Well, that leads to the next question. So
Yeah.
how have we seen in, the investing in the personal well-being of the kind that
Yes.
you're speaking to pay off for organizations that make this available to their teams in the way we've described through Pool?
I love it. Here, check this out. Here's the science behind it, right? Here's one example, okay? Investing in happiness, okay? It's not just moral and ethical, it's literally strategic. 21% higher profitability, okay, when employees are more engaged and happier in their careers. That's not revenue. This is so important. 21% higher profitability is a game changer. Everyone on this call, everyone that's going to be listening to this, ask yourself, what would happen to your company if you increased your profitability by 20%? Forget about 20%, 10%. What would happen to your company? It's a game changer. That's why these companies do it. They know. Let's talk about it a little bit more. The business case for happiness. Here, let me make this full screen. The business case for happiness, okay? Happier workers are 17% more productive, okay? This is possibly one of the most important things for everyone to consider when thinking about investing in well-being versus just skill development, loyalty and retention. It is so expensive. I have it down there. $15,000 to $50,000 in turnover costs, easily. Some companies are six digits, right? That's what it costs when a good person leaves. When a quality person, when a bad person leaves, nobody even notices. So that 15 to 50,000 is not somebody that wasn't doing anything just leaves, right? You don't even notice those people.
And I think it's important to clarify that that's not a bad person. That's a
No,
person that was in the wrong seat in the wrong bus. They weren't
exactly.
in the right position for them to reach their own goals and to be happy.
And let's give people an example of what that means for a second. I'm 5'5". I know I may look big and tall on camera. I've been mistaken for being a tall guy. Then people meet me and like, where's the rest of you, Alex? And so I'm 5'5". If I went to play in the NBA and asked the coach to be a center, and the coach is like, that's a great idea. Yeah, guys, we got our new center, and we never got a rebound. Never. That's the coach. That's the coach putting the wrong person in the wrong place and going, that's okay. Let's see how this goes. And so that's what Thomas is saying, that it's the wrong person for this seat on this bus, but it might be the perfect person for another seat on another bus. And so it's key to do that. Here's another. Let's go one more business case. higher profitability we talked about, the creativity. Okay, hey everyone, has anyone on this call ever heard of AI? Okay, we have something that we possess within us that makes us special. That is our emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence powers a lot of things. One of those things is creativity. And when you have a team that's creative, problem solving, creative, solution thinking, right? Creativity in general, you have, again, we can look at those companies that see the value. They're the biggest companies in the world. You want your team filled with creatives and filled with high emotional intelligence, because in the age of AI, most of the basic tasks are going to be taken care of. So you want somebody who's very creative on how to use AI to accomplish your tasks even easier. So creativity is key. People are like, "Oh, it's creativity. It's so woo-woo. It's soft." No, it's one of the most important things you can discover in people on your team. And then finally, this little fact about companies prioritizing well-being report a 41% reduction in absenteeism. We all heard of silent quitting. It's a real thing, continues to go on. People stop talking about it, but it's still happening. 41% reduction in that. That means 41% more production because they're more engaged. And so, what is the business case for investing in well-being? That's just some examples right there. Yeah.
So how can companies get a strong sense and feel comfortable that they're going to see this significant improvement in reaching and even surpassing their goals and objectives by using the system?
Okay. So, just to understand the question, how can companies surpass their own goals by investing in their people well-being instead of always focusing on skill building?
Yeah, so it's a combination of, hey, how can they measure that? So what are the kinds of measurements we could look for by way of what you're referring to by
Mm-hmm.
utilizing them? And then B, how do we measure the impact that it's actually having on the well-being of those folks and the extent to which they're able to use it and gain those opportunities?
So, the measuring is should be pretty clear and simple. If you are currently measuring the, let's say with customer success NPS scores, let's say with sales it's numbers, right? How many contact rates, how many repeat customers, with engineering it's are they getting more than 80% of the sprint complete in this 2 week period? In accounting, you're if you're measuring those things, you will, I mean, the answer, it's almost obvious, because it's like, of course, in my own life I see it, so why wouldn't it happen in everyone's life? You will see all of those metrics improve. Anything you're measuring, when your team is happier and more confident in themselves, every metric goes up. It's just, I don't know how to say it. Every metric goes up. You will see it. So if you're measuring those things, you will naturally see, as your team feels, you'll see the communication improve. You'll see less, you'll see more debate with less shame and guilt, and more constructive conversations happen just naturally. So the measuring piece is actually the easiest piece to track when you implement well-being and personal development and growth. I wish I could have some of our leaders, that we have over 5,000 users in the platform already. We're 6 months into this thing, and we have over 5,000 people in there already. And I wish I had some of those leaders right here to tell you.
Well, let me
They
ask you
can
this question.
explain.
Let me ask you this question, sort of a takeoff of that.
Yeah.
So how do you correlate those results? So A, the well-being, the happiness, the level of contribution, all the people on your bus are stars or working
Yes.
towards that objective, right?
Yes,
So how does
exactly.
the system help you measure that by way of their interface, their interaction, and their use thereof?
Got it. Okay, so let me see if I have this. Let's go to change something. I want to show you all an example. So we have a performance analytics tool, and I'm sorry, I should have had this all prepared and ready for us to go for this team performance. Okay, give me a second here. I apologize. I should have really had this up and ready for you all.
That's okay. I kind of threw you a loop. But
It's
this
all
is one
good.
of the
It's
most
all good.
important things from my perspective. is to be able to correlate the reasoning behind offering this kind of opportunity to our teams so they can do
Yes.
that against what we want to gain and take advantage of as an organization in so doing. This is
So this
exactly
is
what I'm pulling, Alex.
Yes. So this is an example. Okay. This is an example for sales teams. When we first launched, we had a lot of uptake of sales teams. Now, entire companies, everyone, 100%
From
of the most recent
engineering to product development, you name it.
every yes, we had 760 employees just added yesterday from one company. That included the from the receptionist to the accountant to their junior engineer. Every single person got it because it's elevating the team. You want everyone to elevate. So this is an example of performance analytics. Okay, we're going to use sales as an example here. In sales, there's one metric. I just want everybody to know there's actually one metric in every category or team that you
Job
have in your
and job
organization.
classification. Yes.
That's right. There's one key indicator. In sales, it's hourly rate. Meaning, what is my personal as a salesperson? What is my hourly rate? Why does that matter? Because sales, my hourly rate is salary plus commission, or sometimes it's just commission. And so if my personal hourly rate's going up, guess what? The company's making more money. Guaranteed. It's a direct reflection on how well the company's doing. One metric. So what should we be tracking? Well, there's only one thing to track when you're tracking performance, the trend. You don't care about the past. You want to know where I'm going. You want to hire me when I'm going up. Right? You don't want to hire me like Barry Sanders, right? He's still alive. He holds records. You want to hire him for your football team? No, he can no longer do that, right? He's not trending upwards anymore. And so you want to put wind under the wings of those people who are trending up. So for instance, if we were to come over here, we could see, yeah, this is pretty amazing that this person is having this kind of, so Nick is having tremendous success. Earlier in 2024, he wasn't doing so well. But look at this. This is a guy you want to absolutely surround with help because that's a star. Okay, let's go back. Let's grab someone that's not having as much success.
Before you do, though, how does
Yeah.
that correlate with how he or she is utilizing the system in order to gain that wind in their sales and continue on that upward trend?
Well, it's exactly what we talked about before. When I, as a leader, see someone on my team choosing, we talked about time mastery. Let's choose a different one. Let's choose beyond doubt. When this person who's doing well now, let's say 2 months ago, they binged on beyond doubt, meaning they have doubt, they want to go beyond their own doubt. And I'm your leader. I am meeting you there. I'm going, hey, what made you choose this? Well, Alex, you know what? I'm just scared. I have not been doing well, and I don't know how well I'm going to do. And I meet you there as a leader. And then I support you in going beyond that. We go through lessons together. I am seriously going, look, here's another book you should read. Here's another program you should do. Let's meet every week and see how you're feeling about yourself. And I want to be there for you. Guess what happens? You took interest in me, not took interest in me for my numbers. You took interest in me for me. That shows. That shows. That's who you want to support. So that's how you use fuel. Plus, fuel is also something where leaders assign things. Like, I'm in a meeting with you, Thomas, and you tell me you're not really confident right now. You're feeling a little stressed and you're not feeling really good about yourself. And I say, Thomas, I'm going to assign beyond doubt for you. I'm also going to assign creating limitless energy because you look like you're low on energy. You're like, yes, I've not been sleeping well. Fantastic. Both of those courses are going to help you sleep better and believe in yourself more.
Isn't that a key point right there? So it isn't just the users using it, it's the leaders and the team supporting their use and
Yes.
jumping in and helping on the basis of how they're using it and the kinds of changes and well-being opportunities that's really showing. Isn't that
That's
the magic?
exactly right.
Isn't that the
That's
magic?
exactly right. That is absolutely the magic. This is a tool for leaders. Remember what I said earlier, everyone. Leaders' only job is to develop the talent on their team, nothing else. It's only to develop the talent on their team. It's not to own anything. It's not to put the limelight on themselves and be like, I'm the
Right.
best. No, it's only developing the talent on their team. And this is the tool for that. This is how you do it. You look at their trends and you look how you can support them. They're trending down. How can I help? right? Here's the, hey, you're trending downwards. What are you doing to make improvements? I'm reading books. What kind of books are you reading? Stephen King. Well, stop it for a second. You're reading Stephen King books? No, 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 no. I'm asking, how are you going to grow yourself so you can be better at this thing you've chosen to do in your life? And so this is where you can unlock this for them and learn about them autonomously. It's brilliant. You can learn what's important to them, and then you can use this as literally you're a coach in a gym, and you walk them into the gym and you say, look, you need to be able to bench more. So let's go on this machine now. Let's go on that machine there. And we're going to do some push-ups. Then we're going to come back here. That's fuel. Look, you're missing your conversions with sales. You're not getting enough leads. Here's a lead course. Here's a communication course. Here's a time management course. I'm telling you as a leader how I'm going to develop you so you can do the thing you want to do. You said you wanted to do this. I'm going to help you get there. And so that's how you use this. That's exactly how you use it. I love the way that you just got to that point. And I don't know if there's a reason to even go another one, but this is a clear example, right? So, like, this is someone that if this was, and this company gets this from us, that this person shouldn't be here anymore, right? A year of not hitting their target, they have a baseline of $70 an hour as their goal. They have not broken that once in over a year. That's a problem. And so this is a clear indicator going, look, you're trending up, but barely, and you're nowhere close to this. So if I was a professional team, this is someone running a 40-yard dash in 6 seconds, and we need him to do it in 4.5. You're doing it, but you're not doing it fast enough, right? And so
And
a clear
the key to
indicator.
that isn't in chastising
That's
or
right.
turning them.
That's
The,
right.
the key to it is setting them free and allowing them to see, hey, this isn't your seat. You're on the wrong
That's right.
bus, it's the wrong seat. Where can we find a seat potentially within our
Yes.
organization or otherwise, wherein
Yes.
you can start to have fun? Because
Yes.
clearly you're not enjoying this. And if you're not enjoying this, you're not going to have
Yes.
fun. You're not going to work towards it, right?
Yeah.
And that's all it is. So what this
Our,
does is it becomes a way for you to create diagnostics against all those learning modules that they can pick
yes.
and choose on the basis. And as an organization, I've got access to an enormous library of different areas that can help different people on different teams on the basis of helping them find their fun and really
Yes.
grow with us and help us to grow accordingly. Does that make sense?
That's right. Oh, well, it's everything. Are you
I
working or are
got
you
it.
playing? Yeah, that's you A plus. You get bonus points. So that's how and by the way, we show the sales part of it, but performance analytics can be for customer success, right?
Right.
It could be for anything. It could be
You
anywhere
know,
anywhere
one of
you
the
look.
departments that I always find the most interesting in this context, and maybe you can extrapolate on this a little bit for me if it's there
Yeah.
with reference to results and experience, and that is HR, right? So one of the
Yes.
biggest areas of opportunity for me is HR because companies, even though it's human resources, which
Yeah.
is by definition, we're working with people one on one. And what have we done? We've created
Yeah.
all these systems that doesn't bring us together, but pulls us apart. So
That's
we've
right.
automated everything, right? We no longer have any context. If we want to do that employee review, we send them a form to fill out or a video link that they can talk
Yes.
in, and then we'll report how well they did on the video link. Well, to me, it's like, what is going on?
Yes,
Now,
exactly.
now we can do real HR at
Hmm.
scale and yet
Hmm.
create that personal connection with these kinds of tools and with other kinds of tools. You know, for workplace AI, obviously, we bring that
Yes.
to by creating those direct connections and allowing people to really communicate at scale and then
Mm.
provide the reporting and analytics much in the way you're doing and learn and have fun. And if you
Yes.
don't know who your HR person is because you just get a form in your email, that's a problem.
That's right.
HR is there to make work fun and to make sure
Yes.
you're the right person in the right seat on the right bus at the right time. And if they're not doing that and using these tools, then you don't know who they are. They don't know who you are. And now you're down to that 20% is producing 80% because that's the
Yeah.
kind of organization you probably built.
Well, when HR looks at you as a number, you look at HR as a nuisance.
I like that.
Yeah, you know when they look at you as just fill this out. I this was yesterday. This was yesterday. Someone had said to me, a company sent out a form at the end of last year, a survey, 100 question survey to their employees to ask, what can we do better? 100 question. You know, this company did the research for them and found out that almost 20 people quit because of that survey. They just left. They're like, I'm not even. This is ridiculous. You want me to tell you in 100 questions how you can do better? Number one, don't send this out. That's how you can do better. And they left. 20 people left. This is a pretty big company, so 20 people isn't just changing their entire business. And still, hello, isn't that evidence enough to stop? 20 people leave because of your survey? That tells you I'm just a number and you're trying to figure out, how you can move numbers around.
But
And so,
the
no, I
end,
agree.
the end of the day, this isn't just about wanting to improve people's well-being because we're great people ourselves and we want to be, doing the right thing. Yes, that's great. It's important. It's wonderful, but that's not really why. Come on.
No.
At the end of the day, this is about productivity. It's about
Yes.
growth as an organization. It's about the
Yes.
ability to continue to bring on new people and grow our
Yes.
business and add customers and add vendors and add suppliers and add geographic locations and all those things because our people love being here and our customers love working with us. That's what this is about. That is what creates growth and not just going about chopping people here and there willy-nilly because you want to get your costs down. That's not how it works. And
Yeah.
that's where this tool, along with others similar to it, like Workplace AI, can
Yeah.
really drive those kinds of results and make sure that that group of people represents 80% of your results with
Yes.
100% of your people.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
got that. But
No, you got it right. Yeah, it's 80% of results from 80% of your people rather than 20% of results.
there you
Or
go.
80% results from 20% of your people. And look,
There you
I think it's important. First of all, HR is so key to success here.
Yes.
It is their job to exactly what you said, make sure people are feeling good, they're in the right place, they're happy, they're performing, they're because here's the thing people also need to remember. Companies are countries. Let that sink in for a second. Companies are countries. Some companies have more people than countries have. Okay? But companies are countries, meaning what is a country? What is a country? A country is a culture. You can separate this country from that country based on their culture. I could be living right next to you in Europe, right? I'm Poland, you're Ukraine. Something very invisible is separating us, but something very noticeable and clear is also separating us. There's a culture difference. Your company is your culture. And so you want people on your team that want to be there. I mean, that's the point we're making here. And the results, well, the results are based on what you want to do with your company. You have a small business, you want to just be the best in your area, be the best in your area by following the exact same process and investment in people like Microsoft does. That's it. If you have 100
Well,
people, follow the same concept. 100,000, follow the same concept. It's a country.
Alex, this has been wonderful. How can people reach you and how can they learn more
Oh.
about Fuel?
I'll put on screen so you can find me on LinkedIn, and maybe we can put some links here
Oh,
as
yeah,
well. So you can
sure.
find me on LinkedIn here. Alex Kutsishin, you can search that and you can find me on LinkedIn. You can also go to Fuel. And really, this gives you everything you need to know because as you heard us say, everything is about personal then professional. So you'll get to see how does a course on communication help you personally and professionally? How about productivity personally? Confidence, emotional intelligence. How do these things work personally and professionally? So you'll see right on our homepage all of these skills, resilience, relationships, and you'll get to see the personal and professional side of things. And then you can contact us through a contact form or sign up for a demo, or come to one of our events. We have weekly events, so come to our leadership live events that we promote. throughout. Most events are only for the fuel community. We do put things out to the world and say, hey, come check out what the fuel community is like.
Well, let's
Uh,
let's let's do this. Let's agree, right? Hopefully you agree. That
yes?
we'll do this again, but the next time we'll dive in a little deeper at a course level and actually show how that works and how
Yeah.
micro learning in that Netflix binge-worthy environment really gets the results that organizations are looking for. Because at the end of the day, you've got X amount of people, but only a low percentage of them are actually getting the results that you're hoping for. Let's
Yeah.
figure out a way to help you improve that, get your productivity through the roof so that you can
Yes.
continue to grow. Is that fair? Well, Alex, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for your time, my friend. As
Thank
always,
you.
we're going to do this again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. This was super fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your time. And of course, you can find this on the SOAR Inc. YouTube channel. It'll be up in the next day or so. And we'll be purporting and putting out some different snippets of this as well in our content feeds, the Workplace AI, which is a company within SOAR Inc. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye now.